hacer. Voy a hacer todo lo que tenga que hacer. Yo puedo hacer todo lo que tenga que hacer. Voy a hacer todo lo que
This podcast is brought to you by Emotional Damage. Okay, so let's just go one word, one sentence, one phrase that will summarize this Zoom for you. And let's start with Joe.
I would say your purpose is your superpower, so find your purpose and then you're going to walk in a powerful way in your life.
Laura?
Fear is not real. The only thing they're scared of is you. Get out of your own way. Everyone's going to judge you anyway, so go do it. Have fun. Give them something to talk about. Take photos of your mess, because your mess will become your success.
Be you, be authentic. Everyone else is already taken.
Adriana?
Have the courage to be disliked.
This is a brainstorming session. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the perception from all angles. The topic today is advertising. And to begin, I'd like to do my usual visualization. If you guys want to close your eyes, you can. If you don't, you don't have to. Just think of a planet, and the planet has three parts. It has the outside part, the middle earth, and then it has the core. The outside symbolizes superficiality, the middle earth symbolizes like thoughts and feelings, and then the center represents the seat of consciousness, or the deepest place we can go in this brainstorming session. Then we go to the middle earth. We have an ecosystem, we have clouds. We have a farm, a house, and a garden. The garden represents emotions, the house represents actions, and the farm represents thoughts. Under the farm, we can find a gold mine because it represents the mine. And in the gold mine, we have the entrance, we have the vein of gold, and we follow that vein of gold all the way to the treasure, or to the gold reserves. And that's what we're going to be looking for today in the topic, which is advertising. So what we're going to do is basically go around and we're going to talk about the topic of advertising from different perspectives, and I'd like to start here with somebody who thinks they have a good grasp on what advertising is, and then so let me see here, advertising. Okay, so I'll start with this. So on Monday's call, we have a Zoom in Spanish on Mondays, and Adriana was mentioning that advertising and marketing is basically, the function of it is just to get the client to the door, and then you can begin like the sales process, which is totally different ballgame. So that's where we're gonna start. I'll open the floor now. Whoever wants to go first, and then we'll take it from right there. I think I'd like to hear from Noe, because he said he's an early adopter. So I think we'd like to start with Noe.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so when it comes to advertising and getting, first of all, getting the person through the door, and as someone that is big on mindset, okay, there's so many components here, so I was asking myself, where do I even start from? And I feel like the main thing here is it really starts, and I'm sure a lot of listeners will resonate with that, it really starts with what's inside here. The way you think of yourself, the way you view yourself before you are even when you're putting up content, whether it's ads or whether it's organic, the way you are thinking of your products in the day-to-day. And so what I give a lot of my people to do is to do, you can call it priming, or you can call it planning to succeed. They're thinking, they're pre-planning a healthy number of reasons why they are the best in the market, right? Or why their product or their service is the best, because then that has you, when you do that, prime yourself to be that, you just then show up differently in the world. I hope it resonates, right? You just, whatever you put out, whether an ad, or whether it's a piece of content, or just a handshake in front of a person, in person, it just lands differently. And those little things, with time I saw how many people are neglecting them, how many people are neglecting them because they just go straight into strategy. So I would like to start with the first thing before one is putting any ads, anything. They really need to build up that belief in themselves. Even if somebody is confident, literally by rehearsing, you don't have to memorize it. It doesn't have to be word by word. It's okay if you stumble. Nobody cares, right? But at the end of the day, preparing yourself, kind of priming yourself, saying out loud again and again why you are the best for your people, or why your product or service is the best. It does something to your brain, and then do it enough, and over time, it will just trickle and you just become, right? You just become, as long as you put the emotion in it. Trouble is most people, I would say this, most people don't, you need to have the feeling associated with it. Like you need the visceral feeling. Otherwise, that's the trouble with people that are doing affirmations and like blue in the face, and then it doesn't work. Like they're like, oh my God, like, you know, I've done this affirmation 7,000 times, like the last 3 years, and like nothing happened. Is because they are not feeling that emotion. As long as you stay in there, feel that emotion viscerally in your body, right? That's the first starting step. And most people just give up doing that maybe for a day or two. They never build it as a habit, and that is the main difference. I train a big sales team here in New Zealand, like it's like a JV/franchise structure. And the team that I trained back 2 years ago, last year, they won Sales Vision of the Year. Aside from tactics and what to say and how to approach a client and all that kind of stuff, mindset, all those components was a huge part of what we've done. How to prepare themselves before they even open their mouth with a customer. Client facing, but it's no different on that. So I thought I would start with first thing comes first, like work on what's in the box, but not just like a one-off. Work on it consistently, even when you think, oh, I got it. Because when you, the way mindset work, as soon as you think you get cocky with it, then you're not like, right, you have to keep working on it even when you think you got it.
Yes, ego. Like the ego, somebody once said that the ego is the trickiest part, where like it will hide behind any belief, even the good ones. So, and then from that, what I said, being the best in the planet, I was having a conversation yesterday about this, about being the best in the planet on something. And he says, like, some things, I spoke to my friend Franco, and he was telling me, some things don't need advertising, because if you're the best and like people want to buy it and then they tell their friends, you don't need advertising. You only need advertising to scale. So, you know, I appreciate that point. Let's go to Funston.
Heck yeah, let's do it. Advertising.
For the fun answer. Let's go for the fun answer.
Yeah. So
He's already got the radio voice. So.
yeah, 100%.
Late night DJ
holds
voice.
a special place in my heart. I will tell you this. But what I found is that when you are in the authentication, your own soul, right, your true purpose, the advertising does itself. You will become magnetized to those people. If you're freaking dancing the money dance, I don't know if you guys ever seen like the bun dance. You guys ever seen that? I'm gonna demonstrate it real quick. It's I love money and money loves me. I love money and money loves me. I love money and money loves me. Right? You do that twice a day, I'm telling you, and you record it, and you just put it up there, people are going to really gravitate toward it. Because it is an expression of you from the deepest level, right? It's not an expression of your tactic, how much you care about your stuff or any of that. It is you. And in this evolution that I found in the advertising industry, most people are bombarded with tactics and all this noise and junk they're being told that they need. And I get it, right? Most people don't know that they need it until really they are told that they need it. And I get it, 100%. However, the way that we're doing it is an inauthentic way, and it's a way that we've been taught for decades. And it really, like, you know, used to irk me a lot, because I would be sitting there and I would watch I would literally subscribe to these ads just so I could watch them. And I would just watch, and I'm like, oh my God, like, that is not that person. You can just tell right away that this is not what this person really loves to do. This is not this person's purpose to be doing this ad right now about what it is that they're doing. But the person that sits there and goes, you know what? I love doing this. Is me. 100%. You can hear it in their voice. You can see it in their face. You can just know that that's the expression of them. Those are the ones that really gain the traction, especially in small business. When you get up there and you start scaling and advertising like the big boys do, then, you know, there's small little nuances that come into play, whether, you know, it's a tech thing or it's a, you know, how the camera angle is and all this other junk that other people will talk about. I've seen people make, you know, well up over $1 million a month by just being themselves on camera and being that rawness that 100% brings the that magnetism to the audience. 100% of the time, your audience is a previous version of you. 100% of the time. It is 100% of the time. If that is not true, then I would actually ask myself, what is my purpose, right? Because the avatar is going to be 100% of you. So you must be able to explain to them their issue or what challenge they're going through better than they can. And you can only do that through expressing yourself in that purpose.
Your audience is a previous version of you. If you hear any gold like that, please write it in the chat, because that how many people spend years just looking for the core audience?
You already have it. You already know who they are. I know that my audience is somebody who struggled with like the back end tech stuff, had 17 different freaking platforms that were just going ballistic because they had like, you know, a calendar here and a calendar there, and they're trying to talk to each other, but then I gotta go watch a 3-hour YouTube on how to figure out how to make all this stuff talk together, and then I gotta go, learn Zapier and, connect everything together and do crazy stuff. It really was very, very simple. I figured it out later on that I only needed like 2 things, and I could make a business that helps people in a big way. And I don't need all that mess. That's why, I bought the domain, my tech mess, fixmytechmess.com, because everybody that I talked to, man, I have a tech mess. And I was like, you don't have a tech mess. Kept getting the next shiny thing that, your accreditation or whoever it is that was helping you with your business told you to get, right? And they are a previous version of me, because that's exactly what I did. Oh, get this, get that, get this, get this. Next thing I know, I'm, $600 a month, $1,000 a month in just spending in subscription. It just blew my mind. And I was like, oh man, I gotta simplify this, because I'm a simple guy. I love to have fun. This is not fun. This is not fun. So I was like, let's make it fun. Let's make it interesting.
Let's do the abundance.
Yeah. No. I love money and money loves me. I love money and money loves me. I love money and money loves me.
Well, thank you, Funston. Oh my God, I don't think you will fail to deliver anywhere that you go. Let's go to Joe Greenwich, the personal trainer healer with the crazy hair and the 7 children.
Thanks so much. I quite closely with a lot of what you were saying, and I had 2 words that kind of came to my mind immediately when I think about, kind of marketing and advertising, and that's authenticity and that's exactly what you were talking about. Like, if I feel like if you're not walking in your purpose and you're not doing exactly what you're called to do in this earth, then you really are not going to be successful. So I a lot of times focus on not necessarily the money first, but that whatever I put out there, however I plan to advertise in social media, or just even when I'm walking down the street and smiling at people and using my light, my attraction to them, that's the greatest billboard that I ever have, right? Like, it's not necessarily the investment first, but the consistency is another word that came to mind too. Figuring out, we all have to follow the algorithms and look and see what ads are working best, and all of those things matter to a certain extent, but I have found that I sometimes think outside of the box, and that can get me in trouble, but it's what has helped me the very most, because I'm confident in what I'm doing. So when you're walking in your purpose and you're confident about whatever it is that you're trying to offer someone else, especially when you're relatable, like, everyone's had children. Not everyone's had 7 children, but we're all here because we have a mother. So someone out there needs some assistance in getting back to their normal self, or feeling healthy again, or just dealing with the things that mothers deal with. So my demographic is huge. For me, it's niching down to the people that can relate to me the best. So that's why relatability is so important. And we all need to recognize that there are billions of people in this world, and we only need to reach a few thousand, maybe a few hundred, maybe. I go for 1 a day. I tell myself, if I can affect 1 person a day, every day that I'm awake and alive, then I feel like I've accomplished something. That may not be $1 million ticket, it may not be that I'm making thousands of dollars every day, but it means that I feel like in my purpose, it's to help somebody else. So I love to connect with people in that way first. So a lot of times my ads don't even require any sort of payment. It's like, start for free. You develop that relationship. You're consistent with the people that continue to reach out to you, and then they want to invest in themselves because they see that you're worth investing in. So it's like a catch-22 when I talk to my marketing team and stuff about, how much to invest in ads. Like you were saying, Funston, it's like I could, every month be paying into things and trying to get all this information, or I could just operate in my authentic, true self, walk in my purpose, and know that I'm placed here to do exactly what I'm doing. And it took me a long time to get to that place, because I was always trying to live up to what other people expected of me, instead of, doing what I know, basically what God expects for me to do, why I'm here, what I'm supposed to be doing on this earth while I have these few, life is quick, right? We see people that are here and gone. While I'm here, I want to leave a legacy. So it's not going to be millions of dollars, fancy cars, big house. Those things aren't going to last, right? That's not what I want to leave behind. But with each of my children, I've instilled in them, you have a purpose, find what your purpose is, and then act on that, right? Don't look to be a multimillionaire. Look to live your life with meaning behind what you're doing. And sometimes the best advertisement is just being authentic every time you get up and post something on Facebook in the morning, or, put your little ad out there and say, being in front of the camera just like this, not all the production, all the fancy lights and bells and whistles, just me talking is what gives the highest ratings, the highest numbers, just me jumping, like when I'm in the gym, putting the camera on, guys, I'm having a shitty day, like, can you help me get through this? Give me some motivation. Let me know that you're in the gym too. Tell me what you're struggling with. That's what people relate to, because they can say, I'm just like her. That's what I want to be, is better than what I was yesterday, just like her. And that's what I'm doing. So I love marketing, I love advertising, but it's like, I hate the investment part of it that everybody thinks that you have to do. You don't have to do that every day.
On that point, I really this morning I was driving back from the beach, and then I thought about this quick thing, and I don't know if you guys can relate, but it's a random acts of kindness. Different people have different perspectives on this, but I have a perspective that just came to me this morning as a download, and it is the following. It is that random acts of kindness is like fishing. And some people say, oh, you should do random acts of kindness regardless. Okay, I agree to an extent. And then other people say, hey, you should only do as much, like, as you should only give to get back. Some people are like that as well. And then there's the middle ground, which is kind of where I stand. It's like when you're doing random acts of kindness, you're doing them because, number one, you're gonna become a better person in the process, and number two, some of those seeds that you plant will have an ROI. But the trick is not to get invested into the ones that don't, or even the ones that do. You'll receive the reward either way if you keep doing it. So let's go to Laura. Laura, it says the biggest secret here is there is no box. Let's go with you.
So if anyone knows anything about us, you know we completely live out of the box. We've had no home for 9 years. We travel the world. We have 2 entrepreneurial children out there already making passive income. Our business has been going nearly 10 years now, and we haven't advertised as such. I think the biggest ad was your last client. So we'll work with someone about books. It's not. We create best-selling authors. The book is just a cool side effect. One of my favorite quotes from my client is, she makes you the author of your life, not just your story. So when they come to us, we create these crazy transformations. It's really incredible. I love everything Funston said. Just my go-to phrase is, if you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. So we make the process enjoyable, fun, it's fast. They find their true authentic self. They go out and shine in the world, and everyone goes, how'd you do this? What difference was it? And they go check out Laura. And that's how we, traveled the world for the last 10 years. And again, I think it was Funston that said, he went from homelessness. We did too. We went from how to put food on the table in crazy tons of debt to travel the world and explore with my kids, which is what I live for, is my children. So for me, it's all authenticity. Random acts of kindness. We live and breathe this. So, I taught my children to do this all around the world. If we happen to be staying in a hotel, when it comes time for their cleaners to be coming around, we go grab big bunches of roses and put roses on their carts like a secret mission. Because for a lot of people, the phrase I hate most in everyday life is same shit, different day. So we try and break people's patterns of the mundane. So they're cleaning a room, they come out, and just for a moment, they're like, so random acts of kindness to me is magical, but I do believe it's all energetical and it all comes back. And I think if you just show up authentically, like Joe said, so when we do our family side of things, we do family events too. If I try and do a video and I'm all dressed up and I'm made up and I look all pretty, if I'm trying to make a video and I've got one kid swinging up my arm and the other one in the background going, it goes crazy, because every mum goes, that's a mum, that's real. Whereas if I'm like all pros and proper, you're like, when I see mums advertising and they're wearing white and they're made up beautifully, I'm like, you haven't seen your child for a week. So it's about being authentic, true, and just raw and real and you. And this is where we have the biggest breakthrough with our clients, because they stop trying to be what they think they have to be, and they just show up as them, and it aligns beautifully with everyone they connect with. And what Funston just pointed out about you were your avatar, it took me a good few clients to start realizing we create the book we wish we had.
Say that again. Say that again.
But it wasn't until we
say that again.
People like,
say that again. What was that?
It's so hard to find the avatar.
Say that again, Laura.
I call it from the day. You know that day when you everyone's got that day, when you hit the bottom, when you had that day of oh my God, I cannot do this anymore, and you feel completely alone and stuck and you're never going to get out of it. That is the person you are reaching out to. That's the person you are helping. And if you're not making millions and doing something crazy, that's even better, because you're more relatable, and what you're teaching them and guiding them to, it feels like they can do it. When you've got all these amazing players that are out there with the yachts and the private jets and all this stuff, they're like, that's cool, but I can never achieve that. You've only got to be one chapter ahead to make an impact. And I totally believe that with all my heart. My kids have been creating books since 4 and 7. My daughter helps children overcome suicide and bullying. She's spoken on stages worldwide. She was doing that at 8 years old. So if you believe you haven't got the voice, you haven't got the story, I promise you can make an impact. And you don't need to advertise. You just show up and be authentically true to you, and the right people will align with you. There's too many coaches out there that are really good at advertising, but they can't deliver on the product, and it makes this industry hard. You just show up and be true to you. Find a coach that has the life you want. When I first started, I remember I watched a guy, he's brilliant, but he was a single guy, and I only had two. Cool, I don't know how Joe did this journey. And he's like, you can find time or you can find excuses. And I'm like, my kids are not excuses, they are my everything, and they will always come first. I need to find a coach who gets that. So advertising has to be real. All the words you guys use, real, authentic. And I think my clients are my best adverts because they're now living their best life. And I couldn't be prouder. I'm a proper mama. All my clients, like once they're under my wing, we all rise together. If there's an event going on and people reaching out like, who does this kind of topic? I'm like, let me go back to my office. So we all get out there and write. Authenticity is everything. And nowadays it's all so fast and so swipey and so attention grabbing. When you just be real, it's amazing what that will draw in for you. When you don't try and be perfect, you just show up as you.
That's perfect. There's two things on that. When I first started this, it was shit. And it's still kind of crappy, you know. I'm improving every single day, you know. So it's, but people like that I know, they wanted to start something like this forever, and they never start because they know it's not gonna be good enough. So what I tell, like in the Monday Zoom, I coined the phrase "start ugly." Like it's fine, start ugly, and then just improve over time. And then so okay, let's go to Adriana, and then we'll start putting in the brainstorming together session. We're gonna start putting the goal together and create a piece of jewelry, some bling bling, some real value here by putting the things that we said together. Like, you know, I'm writing together the phrases and the things that you guys said that we can put together and bring it together. Let's go to Adriana.
Sort of cover.
Go, Adriana.
How you doing?
Thank you, Rosten. I think everyone's going to cover what advertising do for a company. But I think the only thing I have to add is that advertising is just an amplify whatever you want. And so if what you're doing is working, advertising will amplify that, and then it will help you get to the next level in a way that it will bring you more of the same problem so that you can identify a pattern. That's all advertising. And so that's what we're talking about with small business, and you have to be relatable because people are buying from you. They gotta like you. When you're talking about bigger brands such as Coca-Cola and other business, we don't know who are behind those. Personal branding, what we have narrowed our focus here, comes from you, what you create. But a separate branding, a business branding, then it doesn't really need your interaction because the business creates a story separate from this. So as an individual, if you love what you do, it will show because you're selling your energy, not selling your energy, but you're giving out your energy, and people innately will be able to pick that up and see themselves on you, and that's how they purchase from you.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do here now is I'm gonna bring together some of the main things that I heard from you guys, and then we're gonna have a faster round where, like, because everybody said their part, and now what I want us to do is start seeing if we can combine some of the ideas that we had, and then the goal, I think, would be to build an actual like journey from an advertising to the dollars actually returning back to the brand. I think that's the good exercise that I'd like to do here. So we start with what Noy talked about, and excuse my face, my name is Blurry Face, and I don't care what you think. The abundance, I am the best in the planet. That's what I got from Noy. It's like having that confidence of having the best product on the planet. And then Funston, like, in order to have the best product on the planet, then you got to become that person that loves doing what you're doing, and people will notice. And then, you know, to reference Laura as well, you know, basically you said something similar to this too, where it's like being relatable to your audience, which is like she's a mom and then she wants to see somebody that she will be able to relate to, has similar types of struggles as she does. And then start ugly, create bling bling. And then Adriana said amplifying, like all the advertising does is amplify who you are or what your brand is or what you got going on. Now what I want to do is I want to hear, like, let's start putting everything together. Like, what kind of ideas stood out the most to you, and how can you combine them with your ideas or with what you're doing, and then maybe start creating the visual for an actual advertisement that we could pitch right now. Let's start again with Mr.
I think a key thing with the advertising is too many people say, I'm this and I'm that and I do this and I do that. No one cares, let's be honest. If they don't know you yet, they do not care. Whereas if you can say, you're making an impact, you're making a difference, let me take it global, let me help you do this, let me help you do that. If you can sell them their problem and the answer to their problem, you will do way better than just being, you know, I'm great at what I do, and I can do this, and I can do that, and I've got this award or this achievement. Because with all the love in the world, no one cares.
It's good to know it.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely resonate with everything that everyone said. I think, yeah, it just starts with just being your most authentic self and just like have it, like Funston said, like just have fun. Like, yeah, do the money dance, like do, you know, I resonate with what Laura was saying as well. Whatever, like whoever you serve, like the raw and dirty videos, like what I call raw and dirty, right? What I mean is that you take the camera, you don't care about your hair, the wind is crazy outside. If you, this region here is nuts. Like I cannot do normal video outside, like usually without like something like this, like, you know, one of those mics, because the wind is always like shh, like that. And so whether I use it or not, like sometimes just go outside, you know, like share something while I'm walking the dogs or, you know, minding my own business. Those tend to be the best videos, and they get the most, like, because they're unedited, like no effects, nothing, no subtitles, like who cares, like just show up, do your thing, just share with the world, share. And this is also a message for me, like I should do it more often, like, right, like if every day you just show up, like share some kind of message in whatever platform, yeah, like, and just share it from the heart, you know, people will take note. I would say this, I was participating on this like 75 hard version, you know, guys, 75 hard, right? So I participated in a business building challenge, which is the business building equivalent of 75 hard. And one of the and I, until about a week ago, I was the only man that won. It was always female, right? Which, you know, I have amazing colleagues and I love all of them. And like, I was doing some crazy shit. Like I was doing about like 15 things together, but same doing, they didn't appear as doing, because I was just having fun, like, you know, from like putting like notes like I believe in the miraculous to like doing like whatever I need to do. I was getting, we put a thing that we have like paint on our face, like wallpaper, right? And we had to do this video and we had to do it live. God, I had no idea what I'm going to say. That's the best part. And so I had a woman, like a lawyer out of all things. I had a lawyer approaching me, like from a networking group. I saw your video with the wallpaper. I want to work with you. All right, and like, cool, let's meet. Yeah, like, you know, out of everyone that I think a lawyer would approach me, like when I put wall paint on the face, you have no idea who's watching, right? And so just be yourself, have fun with it, you know, sales, all of that, as long as you show up as yourself, like you guys said, yeah, things will just happen and happen big.
Okay, now let's define real quick, and I think I'd like to go to Funston for this. Let's, in a fun way, let's define like the change in what advertising used to be 10 years ago and what it is now, and how like an advertisement could just be like, you know, an organic, you know, video, and even if it goes viral or not, if it gets enough views, it's still it could still be an advertising. So let's go to Funston for this fun definition section.
Yeah. For decades, I know of, in the research that I did, advertising was built upon psychological. They tapped into the psyche to manipulate your emotions through your conditioning of what society has you look at or has you be, right? Whether it's, you know, looking better, feeling better, wanting something static. There's a bunch of different ones in there. But today, people just want to connect with people. They don't want to connect with your business. They want to connect with you. They want to know that you go through struggles, that you have been smacked in the face with a phone by a 5-year-old. They want to know that shit. They want to know that you have exactly the same life that they do in some way. And, you know, there's a lot of people out there that have massive monetary success, absolutely no joy whatsoever in their life. Those people are not, whether they realize it or not, they're advertising at every moment. Everybody is really advertising at every moment in your life. Even me right here, I'm advertising my authentic self in some way, shape, or form. Just like in sales, you're going to pick up something inside of me that is either authentic or inauthentic based on your perception, based upon your subconscious belief, and based upon your condition. All of those things create this web, your personality or your personal reality, which I like to call it. That personal reality that you have now is being projected or is being mirrored, right? So you are going to pick up on that mirror within somebody else. So when I look at advertising, excuse me, that's fun for me, by the way, when I get a call. On a Zoom call.
Block.
Well, yeah, that's it. When I look at advertising and I look at it now, and I go, you know what? I was like, if I'm being my authentic self 100%, then the only people that I'm going to get are the authentic ones. Because that becomes the mirror, right? Those are the only people that I see. They're the only people that are going to want what I have. Those are the people that I want to serve. When I go into my advertising type of deal, whatever, I don't actually do it. I love to take videos of my kid and, you know, riding around on a 4-wheeler, going fishing, doing crazy stuff. I just love taking pictures and videos. My wife is the one that literally goes, make a reel about this. You should do this, you should do that. And I go, boop, 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 send it out. She's like, you didn't even edit it. Next thing you know, I got, 20, 30 comments. Oh my God, this is amazing. That's so cool. And then, obviously she'll go in and edit it and make it about the business. But there has to be something in there, especially if you're in a business aspect. Like, this is my life, but this is how I can help. Right? I'm taking things in my life that are highly authentic, highly personal to me, and I'm going to project them to you so that you can see what my life is about. And then in that, I'm going to tie this around to an issue that you might be having, because this is my higher awareness coming through, right? When a kid, throws something at you or spills something at you, right? And you take a picture of it, he's crying, he's got his thing, I took that for, austerity purposes for my kids later on and be like, dude, you used to cry, every time that you spilled your lemonade or your milk. And, I look at that and I go, okay, let's make something for the business. Like, this is how people are feeling. This is how I feel, how I used to feel when I used to do certain things, right? And that's an advertisement. I don't really like the word, to be honest. I just like saying, I like to mirror things to their own. That's my spiel on it, because I think a lot of people get caught up the conformity of what they must look like. Like, you see all these viral trends. Screw a viral trend. Your belief is your viral trend, right? Whatever you believe to be true, that is exactly what will happen. But you must believe it with everything.
Which goes to sales being the transfer of belief, or the frame transfer, which is if you believe something. And then also in network marketing, they taught me that, like, the first person you must sell is yourself. If you sell yourself, then the marketing is easy, because now, like, everybody will see. Like, I have one of my best friends is an evangelist, and he believes his craft, his religion, his mission with 100% certainty. When you talk to him, you notice right away. Like, there's no mistake about it. So that sells more than any funnel or any trick, anything that you could ever invent, artificially or other. All right. Okay. So here's what I want to do now. So this is gonna go on YouTube. So I don't know if you can. Just a suggestion. If we can do this, I would love to start this, because I haven't been doing this. But this is something I like to start. And let's talk amongst ourselves. But let's also see if we can talk to the fourth wall, which is like, it's going to be the people watching this later. The fourth wall, breaking the fourth wall is a concept from like movies or theater. It just means talking to the audience directly, the people outside of here. And then the other thing is, let's see if we can have a dynamic conversation on the comments. For example, let's say if you're talking and then you see somebody write something and you want to hear about it, then send it over to them. And that way, like, we can have like a better flow of conversation. Let's see if we can do that. It's just a try. So, let's go to Joe, and then let's see if we can get this ball rolling. Da, da, da,
da, da, da. One of the things that I want to share with a lot of people is, once you find your purpose, you've found your superpower. When you're doing something that you really truly believe that you are here to do, things that are supposed to come to you will come to you. You will attract your clients. You will attract your family members that are in your circle, your friendships. All of those things will come to you without that effort. And the investment is in yourself first. So like you said, Joe, if you know yourself first, if you sold that to yourself first, and you truly believe in your heart that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're so passionate about it that it doesn't even feel like work, then you're walking in your purpose. And your purpose will attract everything that you need. So figure what that is. Once you find what that is in your life, you're not putting money in someone else's pockets. You're not working for the man. You're not doing those things that you feel like are just dragging you down. You're building yourself up. You're building your purpose in life, and that's your superpower. And I think that's the best way to market and advertise who you are.
I love that, and what I love most about what Joe just said is that there was a feeling, and there was a deep emotion behind what she said. I don't know if you guys caught that as well, or maybe I was the only one, but I felt what she was saying. And I think that's a great sales whatever, like it's gonna, like, that alone will sell, just if people feel you when you speak. By the way, just a quick question, how do you develop that
I was just typing in the chat, but it took a year of me separating myself completely from outside noise and just really recognizing that I don't rely on anything but what I have inside of me. Everything that's going to happen in my life, everything that's coming to me is already in me. It's already done. So now it's just me finding the path to get to the end, right? To get to what it is that's already completed. And there was so much noise, like with people trying to help, with my family members trying to influence, with my partners trying to be support, and I needed to rely solely on God and me. It was everything. everything else had to be shut down. And that was almost impossible. It almost took me out. But I got to the point where there was burnout in my life because I was giving so much and working so hard and doing so many things and having 7 children and concerning myself with their feelings and their emotions and their next step. I wasn't focusing on myself. So I had to completely seclude myself from all of the outside noise and really focus on what it is that I was here for. And once I found out what that was, it was a no-brainer to then just start to move in that direction with regards to everything in my life, not just my finances and my work and, you know, how to grow in my business, but in my life in general, in all of my relationships. Because everything that you're doing, even outside of your job, is affecting how you're advertising. And to build bridges between those gaps that were there, and Andrea talked about that. We are leaving that and making it so much bigger than really what it is. Money is just a gap. It's a tool, right? It's a tool in your toolbox. Just like you need a hammer for things, you need a screwdriver for things, we need money for things, but we also need a lot of other tools in our toolbox to make the building complete, right? And that's what I'm really focusing on now. But it took that separation and really looking at inside of myself and who I was and why I was here before I could have that realization that my purpose gives me the power that I need to step outside of who I really am, be bigger than what I thought I was.
Adriana.
I have a question for you, actually. I think that for me, that process has been 2 years and ongoing. And so I think that we get into this rat race where we're doing the same motions over and over again. And then at some point, I stop. I try something different and then something different. But like finding, I guess my question to you is, how did you know you were right? Obviously, I'm the type of person who wants changes overnight, like most people. And so I've been doing this thing for about 2 years. And I think what Justin Austin said is true, that your avatar is a previous version of you. But as we progress, we do different things. And I'm a person who learns very quickly. That continuously change. So I'm looking for a response in terms of how do you knew? Was there any specific moment that you knew, I have arrived? This is it. This is the person who I want to maintain.
I don't think that you ever really arrive. I think that it's constant growth, constant learning, changing, receiving, and then giving away. For me, it's just when I found peace.
There's no magic pill, Adriana. There's no magic pill.
No. I'm constant. Every day I wake up open to learn new things, like calls like this, where you're receiving from other people, you know, ways to operate in this world that is full of confusion and misunderstanding. And, you know, I'm not a people pleaser, but I'm different in the sense where I know that there's not an end goal for me. Every day I'm trying to grow my business, but I'm also open to learn. And if something else comes and it feels like, oh, this is the direction I have to take, I'm open to take it. But there's no ceiling. Like it just, you always have to know that if you feel peace about the direction that you're moving in, and there's not that constant turmoil or struggle within, but I feel like you're walking in your purpose. I never say you've completely found it. I always feel like you're walking in it. The directions can change. So your purpose is just that you're walking in a direction where you feel that peace and that satisfaction and that authenticity that I spoke about. When if you don't feel like you're who you're supposed to be, or you're doing something and it's not comfortable, or, you know, a struggle or a strain, then I don't think that that's where you're supposed to be in this life. I think you have to shift and be prepared to shift so that you have that you have that feeling of authenticity, and this is where I'm supposed to be. Even if I'm not making millions of dollars, I feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So don't feel like you're gonna feel that it's not like this is it. I never really felt that. I still don't feel that. Some days I question, is this really where you want me to be, God? But then I'm like, you know what? I'm helping people. I'm making people smile. I'm changing people's lives. You know, they're losing a little bit of weight. They're feeling better about themselves. This is where I'm supposed to be right now, today. Maybe tomorrow that will change, and I'm open if it does. But right now, I know I'm in my purpose for today.
Right.
One day at a time.
Yes. Okay. Let's go to Noe, because I want to hear about this moment. And actually, after Noe, I want to hear from each and every one of you. What was your shifting moment like when you made that decision and you realized that, okay, this is what I need to do. This is what I love. This is what I'm gonna do. You know, at least for right now, this is what I'm enjoying doing, or this is what my purpose is. Go ahead, Noe.
Yeah. When this happens, when you get that moment, it looks like it's like magical and it's just like happen, but you know this, like it's nothing of the sort. Like this could be after years of struggle, grinding, or not having money, or whatever. Struggle with the whole thing. You know, I certainly struggle with, you know, burnout and depression and the whole 9 yards, right? And it just comes in a moment when you decide. It's almost like you cross the line. It's like It's like the border between despair and revelation, you can call it, right? And in order, for my experience, in order to have that moment, you just need to cut off the ties to the previous way that you were doing things, right? And I don't mean like cut off people necessarily. If the environment is bad, you have to change the environment, like what Feinstein said before. That's non-negotiable, like, right? I say that to my people. Sorry, going a bit on a tangent here, but I hope it makes sense. I'm saying to my people all the time, you know, we can do all these amazing processes and stuff, but if you are staying in the same environment, like, and you consciously know that, you know, like, I don't know, your town, for you, I'm not saying the town sucks, but for you, the town sucks, or this relationship sucks, well, we can do all the interventions, technically speaking, but you are choosing to stay in that thing. And so you will only succumb back to that version, that the environment, you know, around you. How to say it, you know, you can, if you're trying to build a mansion in a really ragged street, right? And then how long will it take to the mansion to be trashed with, I don't know, squatters, I don't know, like trash outside, you know, not long, right? Like, you know, it's going to come down. Environment will bring you either on your knees or make you right, yeah? And so you need that right environment also for that moment of identity shift. It's like a light switch moment kind of thing. If I can share one personal thing, like I had this time in the past where I was dabbling in a lot of businesses and all that kind of thing. Once I decided, I was asking for a refund for some random product, like, and I got a no. And I don't know what landed me, like the Holy Spirit or whatever, and I'm not super religious either. Suddenly I had this like moments like, hang on a second, like what if I stopped? I know, right? It's weird because like I have no idea like what went over me at that time. And I was like, they said no because we only give refunds if the product is faulty, which maybe it kind of was, but doesn't matter. Anyway, I decided, like, you know what? I'm going to make it work. I send the support. It's a real story. Like, yeah, I send the support back. Like, you know, guys, I'll make it work. And at that moment, like I don't know, a couple of days after, I ended up teaming up with one of the guys that created the product, and he became one of my first mentors. And so I didn't know it then, but what happened in this instant, when I sent them, don't worry, like, leave it with me, I'll make it work, I made a decision that in this particular case, I'm no longer the consumer. You know, as a customer, consumer is entitled, you get refund, this doesn't work, sir. Like the lady in front of me had a Marge Simpson hair in the cinema, I couldn't see, like I want my money back, you know, it's, you know, the entitled, like, you know what I mean? Like the entitled consumer as an identity is entitled, like, you know, this doesn't work. You know, and when I crossed the line, I was a pap, and in that moment, everything changed. Like, there was that point I couldn't make a single dollar, I tell you. Like, and at that moment, suddenly, I wasn't a millionaire overnight, but it felt like I cracked the code, right? It's like literally a couple of days after first sale, then woke up to a weekend of, you know, a couple of hundred. Does not sound a lot, it doesn't matter. For me, it was like the whole world, right? It's like, I hope it makes sense. Like, at this moment you make a decision, and it has to come with the bold action. Whatever muse was landing on me at the time, it just clicked perfectly. But we can create those moments. We just need to ask, okay, how do I apply courage here? Like maybe go beyond where I, you know, previously would get stopped, or, you know, not speak out, you know, one of those kind of things. That's my 2 cents.
Beautiful. Okay, so now we're almost at the end here. So what I want to do now is let's try to get technical. You know, let's tie in all this mindset to real technical value for the audience. And then for this, Laura or Funston, I think you guys are both really good at this. Whoever wants to go first. Laura, there you go.
Yeah, it's show up and be you and be real. Don't be scared to be on camera and to show what life really is. If you find the most successful people, they've journaled. Journal is the fastest way to get success, because you just show up, you be real, show the days you have, the good and bad, and people relate, people follow. When you have a win, you share the win, other people win with you. People think they have to be that idol of success before they can make an impact. One step ahead, one chapter ahead is all you got to be to make an impact. You show up and you be real and you be you. There was so many notes I took on what you all said. It was all such brilliant stuff. The moment for me that shifted everything, we were not in abundance. We were really not in that place. So we were doing things to make money, and the time I decided to shift that, go, let's just serve and add as much value as we can and see what happens, our whole world changed in that moment. Now, I'm trying to summarize what you were saying, which is the moment you made in the whole world. So when you're trying and you're trying and you're trying, you meet this resistance again and again and again. When you step into your purpose and it's to do what you're here to do instead of to make money. You align everything that was meant for you. We ended up with a 13-week Sky TV show. Clients, like, there's a waiting list. The whole world just opened up. We went from struggling to put food on the table to worldwide travel. The biggest thing for me is the impact I make on the readers, but not even the clients. Clients have impact on thousands of people I couldn't read. I call it the ripple effect. I get to serve someone, they get to serve thousands. Because I just showed up and decided that day, I'm all in. Whatever happens, I'm going to dive all in. This is what I'm meant to do. This is why I'm here. And the whole world shifted to help. Things that align, you can't make it up. Magic, miracles, coincidences, whatever you believe or whatever you want to call it. You get a lot of coincidences when you step into your truth. Understand, go for it.
When you say technical, do you mean actual technical or do you mean within technical, like a practice?
Well, if you can do both, that's a challenge.
For me, the only practice that I have is connect with a oneness of that I am God, I am universe, I am soul, God, I am that. And because I am that, that practice in itself creates the identity. My identity then is of a creator. So that's what I do, is I create, and I serve with that creation. And it is as simple as that. A lot of people put a big spin on their practice. I don't really practice much anymore other than my creative. In the doing, I can no longer find the silence, if that makes sense. Everything comes from the silence. That's where your Gus will speak to you. That's where your Gus and you merge into one, and that is the one. So if I could stay there in the silence, then I will serve so many people, it will be unreal. Because first I'm serving myself, and I'm making sure that Gus knows that I am not separate from anyone or anything of this world, right? Just like a wave in the ocean. Another wave doesn't look at another wave and go, oh my God, that other wave is bigger than me, and now I got to judge it. It doesn't do that crap. It rolls along, made of the exact same thing that the other wave is, moving in the same fashion. We get in the flow that is usually in the creative process. That's where the silence speaks to us, and that's where we actually get to serve. That's just me. As far as technical aspect of the digital realm, if you're overwhelmed by it, you didn't simplify it enough. Take out what you don't use. Make it fun for you. If you are not excited about using something, don't use it. When it aligns with your business, it will be fun, it will be exciting, you'll have energy to spare, you will look like a 5-year-old that is literally just taking a huge donut to the face. You're going to go nuts. Hopefully I tied some of that back together.
Oh, beautifully. Yes, I love it. Yeah, so I'm gonna say, Joe, that Funston just outdid you. He just brought this energy on, and I was like feeling him 100%, no homo. But I was feeling you 100%, Funston. I was like, wow, I was there. I was like, yeah, connected. Ah! All right, so here let's do a speed round of results. Okay, based on what you said, let's try to keep it 30 seconds to a minute. Based on what you said, what have you been able to accomplish with that process which you outlined in your explanation? And I'll go with Laura first, and she looks like she's ready to go.
Yeah, I'm so ready. I've gone from homelessness, struggling to feed my children, to worldwide travel and massive impact. And what's the beautiful thing is, it's not me making an impact, it's my clients. So it's the ultimate goal for me and my client. Location, time, go and be where we want, with who we want, when we want.
Okay, let's go to Joe. Joe is ready to speak too. Let's go.
I, like a lot of the people on the call, have gone from nothing to feeling like I have everything, even though I'm not financially rich at this point. I'm rich in what I've attained from coming from nothing to where I am today, and that makes me relatable. I'm not any different than anyone else. I struggle like everyone else. I've gone through hard times. I've gone without money. But those aren't the things that make me happy right now. It's finding my true self and my true purpose in life.
Yeah, I've gone to the way I was able to get to a multi-six figure, which is just like a function of serving. Just you have a gift to share. I realize I have a gift to share. I just go out there and share it. Go out there and share it. Be yourself. Don't try to be anybody else. Who said that thing? Anybody. Don't try to be anybody else, because everyone else is already taken. Right? So just be you. Share your message, what you believe in, and just go for it. All the rest of the stuff, TV, books, all of that kind of thing. And I've done some of that. And it's amazing, and I'm so grateful. It will just come as a function of who you are.
I have a question for you, Noy. So in order, you said multiple six figures. So what was the dance between focus and distractions during that process?
Sometimes I struggle, man. You think there's no shiny object syndrome at this level, you are wrong, right? This happens all day long. And I saw Funston, you had this smile. This is not just tech. It's, you go and you see this ad and say, oh, that sounds good, will help me scale, da-da-da-da-da. But here's what I realized. You want to stick to maybe just a number, really a few selected things that you believe in, because it's a bit like too many cooks in the kitchen, right? Like if you are just like, go here, oh, that sounds good. Yeah, you lose it. You go crazy. And obviously you lose a lot of money. And so there were points in time that I had to kind of learn the hard way. But every time I struggled with something and I kind of went on tangent, like try to, it's better using that way. What made the difference is when I came back to source and I doubled up like on that original thing. And when I doubled up like with full heart on the original thing, that's when I got the result. Like fully in, like you like double a commitment in the thing that you just tried to run away from and found comfort in the distraction.
In the destruction.
Yeah.
I love that. Adriana,
Wow, so many.
how you doing?
Have been robbed that I am speechless, which doesn't happen to me very often.
Hey, that was a great reaction. So okay, so we have about 13 minutes. Usually we go about 90 minutes. I would like to see if who has let's say like value for somebody who is just starting out, or maybe all right, no, because the mindset is for people who are first starting out, and then you got to sustain that, of course. And Noy said perfectly, between distraction and between focus, it's a dance, and it's an intricate dance. And but like, what about somebody who already started, and it's on their journey, and it maybe it's on the road to like just beginning to blossom as what their purpose is, but they're looking to see, how am I gonna create a fortune from this, or maybe how can I just make $1? The process of monetization. Go ahead, Laura.
Add massive value. If you can add value to someone else, money is a really cool side effect that happens in the most natural, beautiful way. The more people you serve, the more value you add, the more money you make. You don't do it for that, but money's energy. If you lock it all down, money is energy. So, like the whole random acts of kindness, my little boy is so cool. We went into the shop for a snack. He came out to our homeless guy and was like, "Mum, can I give him my snack?" I'm like, "Of course, baby." So he went and handed the snack over, and we walked to the park. £10 note blows to his feet. We're looking around because it looks fresh from the machine. No one anywhere. Like, it always comes back in some way, and it's always amplified. So if you can just go out and serve, add massive value, the money will come. You gotta believe it. And if you've got to work a job, do this as a side hustle until it grows, it's okay. It doesn't mean like you're losing at life. There's so many rules set around what success is. It's what it is to you. I don't have a massive mansion and my own private island, but we travel the world full time. I get to spend every day with my kids and my husband, and when someone needs me, I can drop everything and be there at the drop of a hat. That to me is ultimate success and happiness. I feel fulfilled every day. Be you, be true, and add massive value. Joe is bursting, so I'm going to be quiet.
I just think one of the things I think is really cool is that we need to recognize there's power in our words. And when you speak something over your life, I always call myself a personal trainer and healing wellness coach, a motivational speaker, a teacher. I call myself that even though I don't have a long list of degrees or letters behind my name, because I know that that's who I am internally. I homeschooled my 7 kids and taught them all the way through high school, and they all went off to, not all of them, but to university, and are doing well in life, because I knew that I was a teacher at heart. But I speak things as if they are already there, and then I walk into them. Even though it seems a little bit hokey, I know that I will be on stage speaking in front of thousands of people. I know that I am going to have enough to take care, to serve other people, because walking in my purpose means that I need finance in order to serve other people. So there's not a greed behind wanting to grow your business or wanting lots of money, but I speak into my life like it's already done. So and I said that a little bit earlier before, there's power in speaking what you believe to be true about who you are, and then it comes to you. You attract that because there's so much power in your words. So when you wake up in the morning and you say, "I'm healthy, I'm strong, I'm powerful in this life, I can help someone today," then you will do those things that you spoke because of the power behind your words. The world was created because it was spoken, right? Let there be light, let this be this, let this be that, this day and that day. The power behind the words. And so speak that over your life. Make that a mindset that you have, that you are who you say you are, because you've already put that out there. Being able, like Laura was saying, the power that we put in money in the world, in our society, is just incredible when we shift where we see the power. Because money doesn't bring happiness. Happiness is not in that. The love and energy that we feel from our family and our friends and what we get out of doing our job every day and the people that we serve. When we shift that focus into the power that we have over the power that money has, then everything changes. And when I stopped focusing on the power that I thought money had, to the power that I have, can bring that to me, then everything changes.
It's good to know it.
Wow. I just have to say I got so much from everyone here, like absolutely gold nuggets, one after another. Yeah. I was also like Adriana for a second, like I'm lost for words, and that doesn't happen a lot too. So I would say, yeah, just really position yourself for success, right? Like for people listening to this, watching out, like position yourself for success. Do what you need to do. Have the environment work for you. Remove as many possible distractions, like right, ain't saying, cut people off and that kind of thing or from your life. But sometimes if you need to do that, you might have like a tough decision to make, and maybe it's the right decision, right? But the thing is with decision are just decision. There's no, there's no wrong decision. You trust your gut, like trust your unconscious mind, like I like to say, and you just go with it, and it will lead you on a certain path. If you have this mindset of all decisions are just, and they cannot be the wrong decision, you will always win, because you will always be able to adapt to what's happening.
Okay, Adriana, I know you're speechless, but if you can give us like, okay, so let's go, like, guide us through a quick, like technical side of this, where like, let's say like, because you mentioned you were running ads, for your business. So maybe like, how would you apply what you've learned today to that side of your process?
One of the things we have to discover first is how to come from abundance. And I think that Joe is speaking about that. And so they learn. When you figure out a way to come from abundance and instead of a scarcity, I am here to serve you, that I need you to make me money, then adding ad will just expand whatever it is you're doing. And it will help you, as I said before, get to the next level. Coming from abundance is letting go of the fear of I'm doing all these things they may not. And that is a difficult transition unless one of you can share an easy way to go from I'm no longer scared that I'm not going to make money and I'm wasting my time to I'm going to do this thing even if it doesn't make me any money and the money will follow. That transition is what needs to be explored. Once you get to that point, you add the ad, boom. And as Laura said, it will be like an overnight success, although it wasn't overnight.
Yeah, I mean, I can speak to that. I come from, making $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 a month. Right now, I'm not making anything with this. I decided this is what I want to do because I know something will come from this, because business comes from people, not from, yes, money, but it's about transacting and giving value to people. So if I know this is going to lead to something, I don't know what yet. But and then the other point is, like I said Monday, is to start ugly, start small. Like I probably got from this podcast, I probably sold like 3 books, and I've been doing it like 3 months. So, but it's a start. And then, like who said that can be scaled? Once the process is perfected, then the process can be scaled. So that's what I'm going for here. Oh man. But let's go to, I don't know. That's it. That's it. Go ahead, Andrea.
Some of the people here, they're at a place where some of us want to get to. Maybe they can share a key aspect of letting go and receiving feedback or connecting with the right people to give you and show you what it could be. Because for you, Joe, it may not be about the book, maybe about something so much bigger. But how can you, when you're creating something new, it's difficult to give that thing, feel that you're giving it all you got. I'm speaking for me, not for you. You're giving it all you got, but you're not seeing the results. And those first 3-6 months, maybe a year, where most business fail is because they don't see the result right away. So for anyone who's listening, how long do you...
There's a fast way. There's a fast way and there's a slow way. The slow way is what we entrepreneurs do to ourselves, is we try and we get punched in the face, and we try and we get punched in the face, and we try and we get punched in the face. And you can try and you can hire a coach, and that can be a really expensive lesson. If you can find a coach who's living the lifestyle you want, who's already created what you want, and they've done it with what you have. So if I wanted a coach, Jo would be great. She has more babies than me, so she's able to do it. With 7 babies, if I've got 2, I can do it. Whereas if I go to the guy who's got no kids and he's telling me you get time or you make excuses, my kids, I just I didn't relate. You can find a coach who's got a similar life to you, but they've amplified what it is you want. Go and ask them. So instead of doing the full you still have a few blips in the road, but they will help you shortcut to success because they've been punched in the face more times than you've tried. So if anyone here that's made money and made success, even you listening, it's because because they have failed far more times than you have even tried.
To add to that, I just want to say that we put a time limit or a schedule on the way things should go. And I think life is a process of hills and valleys, not always on the top of the mountaintop that you are learning and growing and really receiving what you need from life. It's sometimes in those low moments where we feel like we're not measuring up that we really need to recognize that those are moments of growth, of challenge, of change, of really knowing that that's where we're supposed to be for this season. A seed grows when it's buried in the dark, right? Nobody sees it. Nobody can feel what's going on in the dark. It only grows when the rain and the storm and the bad weather come, push it through. And that takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. Some seeds take years and years before they become this, like bamboo, for example. It grows massive amount after it's been dormant for so many years. So if you look at it like that, don't look at someone else's schedule about how quickly your business should grow or how well you should be doing or how much money you should have in the bank. Life is a process of growth, rebirth, learning, death, rebirth. And when you realize that roller coaster ride, that hill and valley pattern, you start to appreciate your dark moments because you know that soon you're going to see the light again and you're going to grow and then help someone else in that growth because you share the dark moment. You don't share the success. You share the climb, right? So if you're going up a mountain, you don't share the top part of the mountain. You share how you got there. You have to drink water every 2 kilometers. You have to make sure you rest every 5 hours. You don't talk about, I got to the top. Nobody cares about that. They want to know, how did you get there? So appreciate these times when it feels like you're failing because these are the life lessons that we're supposed to learn. And they're different for everyone. Everyone's different, right? Our journeys are all different.
Yes. Okay, let's go to Noe and then we'll wrap up.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, for those of you listening and you're like just starting or like, trying to find a way sort of thing, like all the guys spoken, like I said before, go and put yourself in a room where you are like the smallest fish. Just go out there. Like it doesn't necessarily have to cost money. Like, yes, right? Like there's the pay to play kind of thing as well, right? But you can, let's say you have, I don't know, you don't have a dime, right? Like just go to the nearest town, nearest city, like the streets, like, and find maybe a networking group, like find some group of people that kind of like vibe in the same way, like, or more like vibe in the way you want to feel, right? Like that's more accurately said, yeah? And just put yourself in the group, even if you feel like you're the smallest fish, even if it's like you're scared, talk about courage, like, and look, some people will, certain business owners or certain people might look down on you. They're probably just not your people. You just continue doing that and show up. Something will stick, right? Like I remember, when I had a football in soccer website back in the day, like I used to what we call like door knocking or like just show up like at a football ground or like next to the CEO's like office or whatever, right? Like, cause I was determined, and I was like 16, 17, 18. I was determined to get the thing, like, right? Like whether it's attention, whether it's like inside info or whatever, like I wasn't going anywhere. Like, and when he saw that I'm coming day in, day out or whatever, it's like, so, just show up, right? Like, just show up. Doesn't matter if they're like with the suits and like all the Rolex watches and that. There's some good people there. Someone will take you and teach you and guide you or let you in something. You'll be surprised.
Yeah, I'm actually at the point where like door knocking, like I that's how I made most of my money in my life. So I'm at the point to where I'm ready to get back to that. So I'm like mentally preparing myself to start door knocking, even if I have to do it part-time while I grow this thing, whatever this is, because that's what needs to be done. But okay, and then to end, Joe, would you mind guiding us in a visualization exercise that will include some of the things that we talked about today, and then we'll say our goodbye.
Most definitely. So I want everybody to just practice the 4-square breathing method, which is to breathe in, hold your breath for 4 seconds, blow it out, and then just relax your mind and body for 4 seconds. And while we do that, we're just going to think about what our end goal is in this life, and that is to shine the light that we have within and to give that light to everyone that we pass, everyone we speak to, and to pour it into our businesses. So just breathe in together with me for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Blow it out 4, 3, 2, 1. And just relax your mind and heart. 3, 2, and 1. Good work, everyone. You can do that at any point through the day when you're feeling anxious. to connect your mind, body, and breathing with your heart rate, and it'll keep you focused and centered on what it is we're here for, and that's to live, love, and laugh, and enjoy our life.
Beautiful. Let's do
Everyone.
the abundance.
Yes, the abundance dance. Everybody's dancing to leave.
All right, guys. Grateful to have you all here, and I'll see you on the next one.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Joe.
Yo puedo hacer todo lo que tenga que hacer. Voy a hacer todo lo que tenga que hacer. Yo puedo hacer todo lo que tenga que hacer.